So I will introduce to you a way of relating to job seekers that is really efficient when it comes to having results, that people really get jobs. We have a history in working with hundreds of people in Sweden through several recessions, and have also trained several hundreds of job coaches in this specific dialogue technique. So what it's really about is to talk about what it is really about. So job coaches, they know very often what is hindering, what is in the way for a job seeker. And it's always an unhelpful attitude or a way of being that doesn't really work when it comes to getting a job. And the job coach knows this, but very seldom starts to talk about what it's really about. So we train coaches in talking about the real issue. It could be that people are resigned, that they give themselves no chance of getting a job. And the activity here would be to empower them to consider that they have one possibility of getting a job instead of see it as impossible. So going from a point of view where you don't think it's possible to consider that there is a slight possibility. And this change of viewpoint will impact the whole job seeking project. So what it's really about is to give people opportunities that from straightforward feedback identify unhelpful attitudes or manners or way of beings that are in the way to have a job, and talk about that and give the person an opportunity to change attitude or way of being. And from that change, which will actually happen in an instant, it could happen in one session if the job coach is really skilled in this. And from that change, different result will occur. So people will act differently and move their job project forward in a whole new fashion. So for you as a coach, you have to train yourself to listen to people in a different way. You have to hear those unhelpful attitudes and address them and give an opportunity to change them, instead of talking about the usual issues that you used to talk with job seekers about, like what kind of job would you like, what are your actions for the week, how did the interview go. So those are good questions, but they are not productive if there is an unhelpful attitude or an unhelpful way of being that are in the way. So first you have to address what it's really about, and then talk about the real issue. So when we coach, we talk about the attitude 99% of the time, with great results in the real project. To be able to do this, you as a coach have to deal with your own attitudes, your own unhelpful attitudes in regard to empowering people. So we have distinguished 5 attitudes or point of views for a coach to integrate in their way of being, in their way of leading a productive dialogue. And I won't go into all of those, but what I would like to say about this is that this way of talking to people will increase your efficiency in supporting people dramatically. And it will be real concrete results coming from it with much lesser time invested. So you don't have to see people very often, not for a long period of time. If you're skilled in this, shift will happen in 1 or 2 sessions even. And what it takes, you have to question your ordinary ways of relating to people, your way of taking responsibility for their project when they don't, and to act and react in a different way. So if you would like to look more into this, this is a book for those who like to read books, and we also have programs where you can train yourself in leading this kind of dialogues that produces results.